Hi everyone. Welcome back to Moments Unspoken. This is the channel where we share the real, raw, and unspoken moments of life that stay hidden in our hearts. My name is Victoria Hale. I am 40 years old and I used to be one of the top fashion models in New York City. For almost 15 years I lived in the spotlight runway shows, magazine covers, glamorous parties. But after my painful divorce 2 years ago, everything changed. I left the fashion world, sold my apartment in Manhattan, and moved to a quiet, peaceful beach town in California. I wanted to disappear, to heal, to find myself again. Life was calm but lonely. I spent most days reading books by the ocean or walking on the sand at sunrise. Then one rainy afternoon, everything changed forever. I was sitting in my favorite small cafe near the beach, sipping coffee and watching the raindrops on the window. A young guy walked in, completely soaked. He was tall, with messy dark hair, kind eyes, and a shy smile. He looked around for a seat and our eyes met. He recognized me from an old magazine cover he had seen years ago. "Are you Victoria Hale?" he asked nervously. That was the first time I spoke to Ethan. He was 20 years old, a photography student who had just moved to town for college. We started talking about life, dreams, regrets, and how it feels to be lost. That innocent conversation lasted for hours. Little did I know that this 20-year-old stranger was about to turn my entire world upside down in the most beautiful and terrifying way possible. The next few days, Ethan and I kept meeting at the same cafe. Our friendship grew very quickly. He was so different from anyone I had ever known. Full of energy, passion for photography, and he made me laugh like I hadn't laughed in years. He told me about his dreams of becoming a famous photographer, and how he admired my old work. I told him about my divorce and how empty I felt after leaving modeling. We started texting every day, then late-night calls, then long walks on the beach. One evening after a big storm, we were sitting in my car watching the waves. He leaned in and kissed me softly. My heart was racing. I pulled back and said, "Ethan, I'm 40, you're only 20. This is wrong." But he looked into my eyes and whispered, "Age is just a number, Victoria. I have never felt this way about anyone before." That kiss turned into something much more passionate. We drove to my beach house and that night we made love for the first time. It was gentle, intense, and incredibly emotional. For the next few weeks we were lost in each other. Secret dinners, stolen weekends, making love every chance we got. I felt young, desired, and alive again. But deep down I started noticing small strange things. A black car that seemed to follow us sometimes, and a few anonymous messages on my phone saying, "Stay away from the boy." I ignored them, thinking it was my crazy ex-husband trying to scare me. I was too happy to care. Our romance became deeper and more passionate with every passing day. Ethan would cook breakfast for me, take beautiful photos of me at sunrise, and tell me I was the most incredible woman he had ever met. We made love everywhere. On the beach, under the stars, in quiet hotel rooms, even in my car once when we couldn't wait. He was so tender yet so intense at the same time. I was completely addicted to him. But the suspense started growing slowly. One morning I found a handwritten note slipped under my front door that said, "He is not who you think he is." I showed it to Ethan and for the first time I saw fear in his eyes. He told me it was probably my ex-husband playing mind games. I believed him because I wanted to believe him. That same night we made love like it was our last night on earth. Full of tears, passion, and desperation. The next day I decided to dig a little into Ethan's past. What I discovered made my blood run cold. 15 years ago, when I was 25 and at the peak of my modeling career, someone leaked my private photos and destroyed my reputation. That person was Ethan's father. Ethan had come to this town looking for me because his dying father wanted forgiveness. But then he actually fell in love with me. It wasn't planned. My mind was spinning. I didn't know whether to hate him or hold him tighter. I confronted Ethan that evening in my living room. Tears were streaming down my face as I asked him, "Who are you really? Why did you come into my life?" He broke down completely and told me the whole truth. His father was the photographer who had leaked my private photos all those years ago. Ethan had moved here to find me and ask for forgiveness on his father's behalf. But the moment he met me, everything changed. He said he fell in love for real and never wanted to hurt me. I was angry, heartbroken, and still madly in love with him at the same time. That night we made love again. this time with so much pain and passion mixed together. It felt like both heaven and hell. But the real danger was just beginning. My ex-husband had somehow found out about our relationship and started sending serious threats. Photos of us together, messages saying he would destroy both of us if I didn't leave Ethan. Ethan wanted to run away with me. I wanted to protect him. We spent one last desperate and passionate night together, holding each other as if the world was ending. The next morning when I woke up, Ethan was gone. Only a short note was left on the pillow. I love you too much to let you get hurt because of me. My heart shattered into 1,000 pieces. For the next 2 weeks I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, and couldn't stop crying. I kept replaying every beautiful moment we had shared. Every kiss, every touch, every whispered, I love you. My phone was full of messages from Ethan saying he was safe but staying away to protect me. My ex-husband kept sending more threats. I felt completely lost and alone in my own house. Then one stormy night my doorbell rang at 2 a.m. I opened the door and there stood Ethan, completely soaked, bruised, and exhausted. He had gone to confront my ex-husband directly and somehow ended all the threats. We stood there in the pouring rain, crying and kissing each other like we had been apart for years. That night we made love with all the pain, fear, and love we had been carrying inside us. It was the most intense and emotional night of my life. But even after that, I knew our love story was far from simple. People would never accept a 40-year-old woman and a 20-year-old boy together. Yet I had never felt more alive. 2 weeks have passed since that stormy night. Ethan and I are still together, living quietly in my beach house. We don't go out much because we know people will judge us for the age difference. But when we are alone, the love we share is pure and powerful. He still takes photos of me every morning, cooks for me, and makes me feel beautiful every single day. We make love slowly and passionately, like every time could be our last. I have started thinking about the future. Maybe we can move to another town where no one knows us. The suspense of those dark days taught me that love can come from the most unexpected places, and at the most unexpected times. My ex-husband has stopped the threats for now, but I still feel a little scared sometimes. Ethan holds me tight and tells me he will always protect me. I believe him. This 20-year-old boy has shown me more love and respect than any man my own age ever did. Continue to final part. Today I am 40 and Ethan is 20, and we are still together. Society calls our love wrong because of the age gap, but I have learned that real love doesn't check birth certificates. Just happens. If you have ever fallen deeply in love with someone the world says you shouldn't be with, or if you have ever fought for a relationship full of passion, romance, and danger, please share your story in the comments. Did you choose love even when it was complicated? Did you walk away or fight for it? If this story touched your heart, hit the like button, subscribe to Moments Unspoken so you never miss real emotional stories, and turn on the bell icon. Thank you so much for listening to my unspoken moment till the very end. Never be afraid to love. Even when the world says it's impossible, love can come at any age and change everything. Stay strong, stay real, and always follow your heart. God bless you all.